Dear students, today we'll go for the last part of the solution. Last class I told about osmotic pressure. And what is the osmotic pressure? The pressure which is applied on the higher concentration side to check the flow of lower concentration through SPM, that is osmotic pressure. So we have discussed this part in the last class. Now we'll go for what is the Boyle's-Van't equation. So according to the Boyle's-Van't equation, we'll keep the temperature constant. So when we'll keep the temperature constant, that is T constant, then the osmotic pressure pi is proportional to C. That is, the osmotic pressure is directly proportional to concentration. Now according to the Gay-Lussac's-Van't equation, we'll keep the concentration constant, that is C constant, then the osmotic pressure pi is directly proportional to T. Now when I will combine these two equations, then it is called combined Van't equation. So when we combine these two, then I can say that is combined Van't equation. So according to the combined Van't equation, so what will be? Pi is proportional to C into T. If I am to remove this proportional, then I can use a constant, that is your R, that is called pi is equal to CRT, and here R is called solution constant. And what is the value of R? R is your 0.081 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. At that time, I will put the unit of C will be in the moles per liter, and the pressure unit pi should be in the ATM, and the temperature unit should be in Kelvin. So here I have written pi is equal to CRT. That indicates that here I is your 1. That indicates this is for the non-electrolytic solution. And if I will go for the electrolytic solution, what will be the equation? Pi can be written as I into C into RT. And we know the concentration C is your moles per liter. So that is your N by V. So if you put C is your N by V, that implies I can write pi is equal to I into N by V into R into T. So that implies I can write pi V is equal to I into N RT. So that indicates here this osmotic pressure equation can be written as pi V is equal to nRT. So here it indicates the osmotic pressure pi is directly proportional to I. If the I value is more, that indicates the solution should have more osmotic pressure. Now we are getting the different types of factors which affect to the colligative properties. One already you know, that is the relative lowering of vapor pressure, P0 minus Ps by P0, that is equal to I into mole fraction of solute. Another you have written, that is your delta TB, elevation in boiling point, is equal to I into Kb into molality. Delta TF, that is depression freezing point, you have written I into Kf into molality. Now we are getting pi V is equal to I into nRT. So all these value what we are getting, all these equation what we are getting, those all equations can help to calculate the molecular mass of solute, because it is related to the mole fraction of solute. From the mole fraction of solute you can calculate the molecular mass of solute. Molality, from this also we can calculate the molecular mass of solute. Number of moles of solute, from this also we can calculate the molecular mass of solute, because number of moles is your weight by molecular mass. So out of these, the osmotic pressure method is a convenient method to detect the molecular mass of the solute. So why? Because except this, in all cases there is the requirement of the temperature variation, whereas this can be possible at a particular temperature, and that is at room temperature also we can calculate the molecular mass of solute, because instead of N we know that is your weight by molecular mass of solute. So if all the data is given, I can calculate the molecular mass of solute by putting a particular temperature. So what is the benefit of it? We can calculate at room temperature, but if I use delta TB or delta TA for P0 minus Ps, there is the temperature variation. So we know the biomolecules and polymers have the high molecular mass, and if the temperature increases, on high temperature the heavy molecular mass can be degraded or decomposed. Under that condition what will happen? The exact molecular mass we cannot detect by using those methods, whereas as it is possible in the room temperature, so we can detect by the osmotic pressure method the exact molecular mass of the solute. So this is about here I told osmosis. So that I will tell about 2 to 3 applications of osmosis. Before that, we'll go for what is the meaning of isotonic solution. So we'll go for first isotonic solution. What is the meaning of isotonic solution? If the two solutions having the same concentration or same osmotic pressure, then we can say they are isotonic solution. But remember, it is very important to find the I value when you will go for the isotonic solution. For example, let's say you are taking 1 molar NaCl and you are taking 2 molar sugar solution, and you are taking, let's say, 2 molar, or let's say you are taking 1 molar sugar solution. Remember what I am telling now. 1 molar NaCl solution, 1 molar sugar solutions are equimolar, but they are not isotonic. Whereas 1 molar NaCl solution and 2 molar sugar solutions are isotonic. Why? Because if I go for the equimolar, the molarity of both are same. That is 1 molar NaCl, 1 molar sugar solution, both having the same molarity. But I am telling that they have the same molarity, but they are not the isotonic. Why? Because they have the different value of I, which is effect to the number of moles inside the solution after the ionization. Why is it? Because if you take the sugar solution, this is non-inequality. So what is the I value? I value is 1. Here this is sugar solution. What is the I value? This is 1. And this is NaCl solution. If I will assume the NaCl will be 100% ionized, then what will be the I value? Number of ions you will get, that will be 2. So if I will take NaCl, on ionization of it, you will get Na plus Cl minus. So if you take 1 mole NaCl inside the solution after ionization, you will get the 2 moles of ion. But there is no change of volume. So we know concentration is your N by V. Volume is constant, but the number of moles becomes, after ionization, it changes from 1 to 2. So that indicates number of moles becomes 2 times. And when the number of moles becomes 2 times, the concentration of ion inside the solution becomes double. And here I am writing this I value is 2. So for that reason, when I will go for the isotonic solution, I will multiply the I value with the molarity. So what will be 2 into 1, and this will be 1 into 2, and this will be 1 into 1. So here I am getting this is 2, whereas this is 1. So these two are isotonic, whereas this is not isotonic. So I can say 1 molar NaCl solution is isotonic with the 2 molar sugar solution, but it is not isotonic with 1 molar sugar solution. So now I'll go for the some application of osmosis. Let's say I'll go for the 2 applications, and there are a lot of applications of osmosis are there. So let's say number 1 applications, when we are taking the raw meat and we are putting some amount of salt on its surface, then we can preserve it for 1 to 2 days. Why? Because when we are putting the raw meat on its surface, it is the part of osmosis is going on. How is it? Because on the surface, when we are putting the salt, the concentration on the surface is increases. The water content inside the raw meat having the low concentration, and the surface of the raw meat act as an SPM. So now due to the osmosis, the lower concentration start to move toward the higher concentration, so that the water content from the raw meat moves outward, and due to this region, it is the process of dehydration, as a result of which the bacteria cannot be attacked to the raw meat, and it can be prevented for a long time. So that is the 1 application I told. Similarly, if you go for the 2nd application, if you are keeping some flower pots on the fresh water, let's say you are taking this is the fresh water, and you are keeping some flower pot on it, then what will happen? The water content which is present inside the flower pots having the more concentration in comparison to the fresh water. So this is, let's say, fresh water, and you are keeping a flower pot here, and the water content which is present inside the flower pot having the more concentration than the fresh water concentration. So this is the high concentration and this is the low concentration. Then according to the osmosis, what will happen? Low concentration start to move towards the high concentration. So some amount of fresh water move to the petal of the flower, as a result of which it is the process of endosmosis, because lower concentration move inward and the flower can be fresh for some times. So that is the part of here also osmosis. I will go for another thing. Let's say I think you know about edema disease, and this edema disease is the disease when the water content inside the body will be more, then it causes the edema disease. And why is it? Generally the peoples who are taking the salty food more, they are suffering with the edema disease. Why? Because when you are taking the more amount of salty food, that indicates that when we are taking water or foods, at that time the water content which is present start to retain inside the body. Why? Because we are taking the salty food. The salty food means it has more concentration, and for that reason when we are taking water, this water wants to retain more amount inside the body. As a result, what will happen? The different parts of the body start to swell, and this type of disease is called edema disease. So I told little bit about the osmosis, and this is the total part I have discussed for the solution chapter. So thank you. On the next